I'm Dave Kluge with Football Guys, and today I am going to talk about 3 players that you need to go out and trade for right now in your fantasy league. If you've been watching this video for the last few weeks, you know that I take a slightly different approach to trading. While so many people are out there trying to buy low and sell high on players, what I try to do is identify players who are trending up and go out and acquire them before they have reached their peak value. And I have 3 guys today that I think you should be going out and trying to acquire as soon as possible. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find that at youtube.com/footballguys. Hit the subscribe button right down below, and you will be able to find all of our video content, our full-length shows like the Audible, the Launchpad, and so much more, and then all of our short videos like this that we are bringing to you almost every single day. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. That's going to help other people find this page, and if you have anything you'd like to add, be sure to drop it in the replies below. Now let's go ahead and dive right in, talking about 3 guys that I think you need to be going out and trading for right now in your fantasy football league. The first guy I want to talk about shouldn't really come as a surprise to anybody. Breece Hall was a dynasty darling heading into this offseason, but there were a lot of concerns about his redraft value. Michael Carter looked pretty good last year, and a lot of people were scared that he would force a timeshare in Breece Hall's rookie season. There were also some concerns about Zach Wilson and his ability to support a powerhouse offense. Well, we should take all those concerns and throw them out the window because Breece Hall is here to stay. Heading into week 6, Breece Hall is already ranked as the RB7 in PPR formats. He has been a top 15 running back for 4 straight weeks. And really, there shouldn't be any concerns about Michael Carter anymore. Through the first 3 weeks, Breece Hall saw about 43% of the running back opportunities in the New York Jets backfield. We all just saw the upside that a guy like Breece Hall possesses when he rumbled for 197 scrimmage yards against the Dolphins last Sunday. Through his first 5 games, Breece Hall has a ton of usage. He actually became the 9th player in NFL history to log 25 or more targets and 50 or more carries through his first 5 games and joined a very elite list of running backs. Now, I already talked a little bit about how the Dynasty community really loves Breece Hall, and for good reason. At the Combine, he ran a 4.39 40-yard dash. He has a relative athletic score of 9.96. Those 2 things paint the picture for this man's upside and his athleticism. Really, we should be looking at Breece Hall in the same lens that we look at guys like Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey. He is that good. From a Dynasty standpoint, I think he's already done enough to hit that elite tier, but for a redraft standpoint, you can confidently fire him up as an RB1 for the rest of the season. Now, it's not going to be cheap to go out and acquire Breece Hall, but somebody out there might be trying to sell a committee back who's coming off of his first big game in the NFL. Realistically, though, Breece Hall is just a good running back, and he is going to keep putting up weeks like this. Currently the RB7, I doubt that he finishes below that for the rest of the season. This guy is RB1 overall in his range of outcomes. With his ability to draw targets, his ability to break tackles, and his speed to blow off big plays, Breece Hall is here to stay, and I would do whatever I can to get him on my team. Already talked about one rookie running back, why not talk about another? No, I'm not talking about Kenneth Walker, but you should definitely go out and try to get Kenneth Walker where you can because of Rashad Penny's injury. But I want to talk about Dameon Pierce. This guy was a 4th-round pick coming into the NFL and landed on a not-so-favorable situation, and because of that, he was a very polarizing player this offseason. But what we've seen through the first 5 weeks should calm any concerns that you had. Dameon Pierce is a baller, and he is going to keep getting more and more touches every single week. Last week, Dameon Pierce had 113 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. That was the 3rd straight game that he has had with 100 scrimmage yards and a touchdown, and he did that in his first 5 weeks in the NFL. When I see Dameon Pierce play, I see so much of what I fell in love with last year when I saw Javonte Williams. This guy is a tackle-breaking machine. The difference is last year, Javonte Williams was in a timeshare with Melvin Gordon. Looking at Dameon Pierce, the only guy he has to compete with is Rex Burkhead, and he has already separated himself. According to PFF, Dameon Pierce had 17 missed tackles against the Jaguars on Sunday. That is the most that PFF has ever charted in a single game, and Dameon Pierce did it in his 5th NFL start. So far, Dameon Pierce is 4th in the league in rushing. He is 6th in the league in carries. And while he only has 15 targets so far on the year, it looks like that is starting to go in the right direction as well. Through the first 3 weeks, Dameon Pierce had almost no utilization as a pass catcher, but he has had 11 targets now over the last 2 weeks. So what we're looking at with Dameon Pierce is a guy who can break a ton of tackles, is going to get a ton of carries, and is starting to get some usage in the passing game. Just like Breece Hall, Somebody might be trying to sell high on a guy that they think is just a flash in the pan, but I believe that Dameon Pierce is also here to stay. He should be viewed as a top 15 running back going forward and has immense upside. He is right now the running back 8 overall, and it wouldn't shock me one bit if he finishes the year as a top 10 running back. I've already talked about a couple rookie running backs, so let's go ahead and completely switch gears and talk about a veteran wide receiver, and it is my boy, Tyler Lockett. It seems like every single offseason I'm screaming that Tyler Lockett is value, and every single year he returns great value, and once again he is doing that. Tyler Lockett is currently the wide receiver 7 in fantasy football. Yeah, you heard that right, the wide receiver 7. He was getting drafted as the wide receiver 47, and it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, Russell Wilson wasn't there, and we have this idea that all Tyler Lockett does is catch deep balls way down the field and have these boom weeks and these bust weeks, and he's a frustrating guy to roster, but at the end of the season, he ends up giving you some sort of value. But things have changed a lot with Geno Smith at the helm. Really, we've been seeing this change over the last couple of years, but Geno Smith is completely exacerbating this and making what we have hoped to see for years become a reality. Through his first few seasons in the league, Tyler Lockett was used almost exclusively as a downfield threat. He was averaging somewhere between 4.4 and 4.8 targets per game and seeing a very deep average depth of target. But now, over the last few years, ever since Doug Baldwin has retired, we are seeing that role start to change. Tyler Lockett sees his targets go up, and he's seeing his ADOT go down. And now with Geno Smith, he's seeing over 8 targets per game and putting up pretty consistent numbers. He has 70 or more yards in 4 of his 5 games so far this season. Gone are the days of him being nothing but a field stretcher. He is working on the short to intermediate parts of the field. He is using his skills as a fantastic route runner and becoming that safety valve for Geno Smith. Obviously, DK Metcalf still has immense upside with his ability to score from anywhere on the field, but Tyler Lockett shouldn't be viewed as this inconsistent boomer bust guy anymore, but because he's been that for years, it is ingrained in fantasy managers' minds that that's all he's going to be able to do. Tyler Lockett has been a top 16 wide receiver for 4 straight years now. Based on what I've seen so far to start this season, I don't expect that to change. Tyler Lockett is looking like a wide receiver 1. He has put up near wide receiver 1 numbers for 4 straight years. He's getting more usage than he has seen historically. There's no reason that we shouldn't be looking at him as a top 12, top 15, maybe top 20 wide receiver if you're not fully on board with this take. Either way, somebody out there is assuredly trying to sell Tyler Lockett, and you should go out and buy him. Thank you so much for checking this video out. I'm going to bring you this video every single week talking about guys who are trending up that I think you should buy. Everybody's trying to buy low and sell high, but I think that that's just not really the way to be playing this. Sometimes when you buy low on a guy, they're just going to stink for the rest of the season. What I try to do is find guys that are on the curve up and buy them right about here. Don't buy him up here, buy him here. And this is where I think Breece Hall is. This is where Dameon Pierce is. This is where Tyler Lockett is. So go out and get those guys on your team as soon as you can. Please remember to give us a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a reply down below if you have anything to add. And most importantly, subscribe at youtube.com/footballguys for all of the video content that Football Guys has to offer. Thank you so much for checking this video out, and I will see you next week.